Yeah, let's try to go through a little bit of T for One, from the Presence album. Alright, that starts with on A and D, I think it's both strings open to A at 1. The next one is D and G open to G2, D3. Almost like you're doing an F, right? Just practice that for a minute before you move to the next part of it. And then the second half of it. Zero, 1, 0 on A, and then 3, 1, 3. And then start over. Now don't get sloppy like I just did and look out the window and get distracted. You want to get both strings on that DG. Because otherwise it sounds like... It doesn't sound right. Now the hardest part of the song, I think, is getting out of that and getting to your G minor 7 to really start the song proper. And if you watch the Page Plant bootleg video, it's on YouTube, from Japan, I think Osaka, is it? I don't know where it was, but getting out of that into the is hard, because they screwed it up and had to start the song over again. So that is the toughest part for me. Right? A open, F, G minor 7. And that's where you're into it. I'm going to play the G minor 7 like this, but you might do it like that. That goes from G minor 7. That's an F minor. Except you take a D minor, move it up here to F. But you also want to get the D string involved. So D6, G5, B6, high E4. It's a B flat. Take your F, move it up here to B flat. So G minor 7, F minor, B flat. That part, you would think that, because there's more than one guitar, maybe 2 or 3 at least, but basically a rhythm part and a lead and fill part. But the rhythm guitar actually does this, the main rhythm one. So the lead one doesn't come in quite yet. So you're on G minor 7 to F minor to B flat. So you want to do on the, after the B flat, that's G and high E at 8, then to 10, and then coming back to it. I like that as G, B, and E all at 8, and then 2 up on the E, the high E string up to 10, and then the rhythm part actually does the G at 12, slide up G to 12 and B to 11. And then on the B string, 9, 8. And now, when it goes into the soloing part, I think that's when the other guitar comes in. That's when you go down on the rhythm part, down to F minor 7. Now, before we get to that part, if you're going to do the solo, you can start with, I'm not going to get too deeply involved in it, but in terms of some guidance on the soloing, start with it's C sharp, or C minor, C minor 7. Now if you were just doing your regular pentatonic, that's a very simple sort of version of the C minor pentatonic scale. But Jimmy he adds a few things to it. I don't know what. Well, just as a starting point, you can add a few things to it. So if you're just doing it then, you do 11, 8 on the high E string, but add 10 to it instead of. Add the 10 on the high E string. Add on you do 11, 8 on the B string, but add 9 to it. He does a lot of that. Bend the B string at 9 there. And then on the G string, you'd be doing 10, 8, add 7 to it. So those are the notes that he uses a lot in this tune. So that's a starting point. As you're working your way up and down the neck, add those notes in whatever, octave to the scale, and that'll get you started as you explore the fretboard. But once it gets into the solo, you go to here. This is the main riff. So you take, you got your C minor 7, right? And you just take it's probably easier to do it. Do it, finger it like that. Go up 2 frets with it. And then slide into that C minor 7. Sometimes he does. Other times I think he does. Listen for yourself to see whether he's doing. Or just. He might be doing a little both. And then. Down to F minor 7. You do the same thing. You do it here. Then back to it. And then F minor 7 to G minor 7. Then back to this. Doesn't do that part, it just goes. Okay, it's just a C minor 7 without the low E string. Brought up 2 frets. Right back there. So then it goes through a couple of verses. 1 minute seems like a lifetime, right? When you feel feel this way. Okay, so then it goes into that other part. So that's B flat 5, B flat 5 to B flat to 6, to C. And then so 8, 10 on D, 8, 10 on A, down to 6 on A. Back to that, B flat to C. Does exactly the same thing, except you're on E flat to F. But it doesn't go up on the little riff bar. It does exactly the same. And then F sharp minor 7 to G minor 7. Then you're back to now there's one little bit, this part. For that little part, you might want to do that little fill, even if you're the rhythm one, if you're doing a one guitar. So it's B at 13, high E at 11. The first one just stays there. And then stops. You know, you do a little run starting with the bend. B string at 9. And then this time it does the same thing, 13 and 11, but then brings it up 2 frets. Then it goes into soloing and you're doing it. It goes to another verse and then it comes back to this. And it does that whole routine again. And I don't know how it ends, but it doesn't do anything different. It doesn't do anything different than the pieces that we've gone through. So try, in terms of the soloing and stuff, if you want to take a crack at it, just try adding a couple of those notes to it. Try adding a couple of those notes, 2 or 3 of those notes to your minor pentatonic, and that starts you pointing in the direction where Jimmy was going with the solos and fills and stuff. Good luck.